I am Michelle with two L's.
And I'm Natalie the Red.
And this is Grogu.
Special guest of the channel.
Yes, and we are Force of Light Entertainment. And today we are here to give you our review of the first Star Wars movie that's been put in theaters in 7 years.
Wow,
being The Mandalorian and Grogu.
This little guy.
Yes. Before we get started, if you've not yet subscribed to Force Light Entertainment and you enjoy movie reactions, you enjoy movie reviews, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Also give this video a thumbs up. Okay, so The Mandalorian and Grogu. We have now seen it, and I will say this. This is exactly what I thought it was going to be. I went into the theater expecting this to be where I would walk out saying, I enjoyed it as someone who liked The Mandalorian. Because I went in knowing I felt like this was going to be just a long episode of The Mandalorian. And when I left, Natalie and I, and even another young lady, when we walked out, we all said the same thing.
Yes.
We're about to get into it, why we felt this way. That was cute. It felt like a long episode of The Mandalorian. So
that's it in a nutshell, really, ladies and gentlemen.
That is absolutely this movie in a nutshell. So let's get into now okay, so I'll give you just it's a very general plot, okay? It's very video game-like, kind of like the show, where it's a quest. They're going on missions. And so basically, Jabba the Hutt's son has been kidnapped, and Mando has been tasked by the New Republic of getting him back so they can get information from this they can get this to this Imperial officer that's like out trying to cause problems. So that's the plot, really. And this movie, I mean, there's technically a plot, but again, it's just like a long Mandalorian episode. Okay, so getting to what we like about it. As I said, I figured I would get enjoyment because I really did. When The Mandalorian came out, I thoroughly loved the first 2 seasons of it. I thought it was a great show. That final episode in season 2 had both of us in tears when Luke came back. It truly was a great show. And so I'm coming from this review as someone who felt that way about the show. And I feel that's important to say.
Yes.
Because if you are someone who did not really care for this show, you're not going to like this movie. This movie really is for the people that have been fans of The Mandalorian, the television show. Because again, it is just an extended version. So with that, that's what I enjoyed. It was just like a long episode of Mando. You enjoy the relationship that Mando and Grogu have built, and seeing the two of them together. Grogu's gonna make, as a female, made me giggle many, many times just with his cuteness throughout this film.
Yeah.
And then I also will say I really did enjoy. I like the character of Mando, and he really is, you're like, dang, like he's a baddie, like in this film. Like he's a very I mean, he's a baddie. That's the best way I can say it. He's good at what he does. So I enjoyed that element, and just the cuteness of Grogu and his relationship, and kind of they play up the sweetness. I actually, when I was thinking, I was like, this would have been a good movie to release right around Father's Day. It's kind of, definitely has that strong father theme with Mando and Grogu's relationship throughout it. But that for me is kind of the strengths, Natalie.
Yeah, I would say the strengths, it's definitely...
Or what you liked.
Yes, what I liked. And this is going to be personal. I know some men in particular might not love some of the Baby Yoda stuff, but for me, I approve. 2 thumbs up. I like it. I have a good time with it. He's adorable. I like their bond and their relationship, I think, is very sweet. So on the cuteness scale, on a 1 to 10, I mean, this was ranking at about a 9.5. Would you agree?
Yes, it's very cute.
I just mean, the parts with Grogu. And so I just think, like you said, I think that if you enjoyed some things about the show and their relationship, I think you'll have a good time with this.
Yes, I also think, again, going into this movie, what I'd been saying on our live stream is I felt like this movie was going to be very geared towards families. And definitely so. This is a very clean film. It's a very good film to take if you have, I would say they really tried to appeal to, boys maybe 13 or under.
I think so many of them would really enjoy this movie.
Yes.
This is a recommendation if you have a 12 or under boy, in your life that might enjoy this. I think you really might.
Yes, I think it's very geared to that. But I also think because of the cuteness of Grogu and the relationships and everything, I do think little girls will enjoy it as well.
Grogu transcends.
Yes.
He does with his cuteness.
He does. So yeah, I think that is definitely a strength. They play to families. Again, I think it depends on your kid, what kind of intensity levels would bother them. This is a movie I would have watched as a kid. I don't know. That's the way I would say it, because
I think it's great for kids.
Yeah.
But there is a little bit of intensity at times, and she knows because she was sitting next to me. Who knew I was going to have a couple jump scares?
She did.
And Mandalorian and Grogu.
She did.
But, there I was. So yeah, it definitely got me a couple times.
Yeah.
Like it could be creepy. I thought the one guy, sort of very wide-shouldered guy.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So, yes, I also say
he
that.
He was kind of good in that. He was kind of intense and intimidating in a sense.
So, I'm not going to say who she's talking about, hence spoilers, because I don't know if that's out. But it's a character that was very well known in Clone Wars and Rebels. That's another thing. If you are a fan of we'll say the first 2 seasons of Mandalorian, even if you didn't like the third, if you liked Clone Wars or Rebels, that's who they're gearing this movie towards. It is definitely for people that grew up loving, again, Clone Wars, then liking Rebels, and then if you enjoyed Mando. So yeah, I think those are the strengths of the film. What did I dislike? It's not that I disliked anything. It's just, again, this isn't a movie that's gonna is this gonna grab the masses? I don't believe so. Again, this is going to be, I think, limited to people who enjoy the show or are have a younger family is kind of what I would say. And also I would say a critique that I would have, or something that I just noticed as a fan of the show, is you could see where the character should have been. And that being Cara Dune, played by Gina Carano, you definitely felt that absence of that friendship that was in the show and who became his go-to kind of, right-hand man type thing, part of his gang. You felt Gina's absence and you felt Carl Weathers' absence. And obviously there was nothing that could unfortunately be done about Carl Weathers' absence. But you definitely could have still put Cara Dune, and it would have made it just a little more. They replaced her character clearly with Zeb from Rebels, and I like Zeb. I liked Rebels, but it being a CGI kind of character, it just would have been a lot better. And there was a hallway fight with his character that I was like, gosh, Gina would have been perfect for this. Cara Dune's character would have been great in this moment, and it just would have given it a little bit more for fans in that regard, I think.
And just more,
heart.
Because you mentioned it is CGI, but just real human connection, I think could have really boosted it some.
Yes.
Well, definitely, not just some. I really think it would have been a good addition.
Yes, because there's a lot of just Mando and Grogu, or Grogu and the little Babu Frick characters, or
which I am a fan of.
They're cute. Or Mando with Jabba the Hutt's son, who's also CGI. So that's where I feel this movie really missed the presence of Gina Carano playing Cara Dune, and Carl Weathers playing his character, which, again, there was nothing they could do about that, unfortunately. But that would be my critique. And then, again, this really is just a long episode of Mando. There's probably episodes of Mando I prefer over this, if I'm being, honest, real, I would say. But I, as a Mando fan, had a fun time with this film. I enjoyed it.
I would say overall, I enjoyed it too. I think, honestly, guys, I had a pretty good time.
Yeah.
It's not, sometimes it's just not like, oh, this wasn't perfect, so, I'm just going to rake it over the coals, because it wasn't. I had a good time. Was it the best movie ever?
Or is it going to go down as one of the best Star Wars films ever? No. But if you like the show, I think you'll enjoy the movie.
But I think if you're the right demographic, that can be across several.
Yes.
I think that you could have a good time with this.
Yes, absolutely. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to say. I think that's about it. Again, it was exactly what I thought it would be in that regards. I mean, I didn't know where the story was going to go, but as far as what I was thinking the route this would go, it was. So let's go ahead and rate The Mandalorian and Grogu. 5 being the max level of hoots, max level of enjoyment. Natalie, what are you going to give Mando and Grogu?
You know, we hadn't discussed this, but I think I'm gonna give it 4 hoots.
Dang it! I was gonna give it 4. I was gonna give it
minds, my friend.
I was gonna give it 4 out of 5. Again,
give you 4 hoots,
and that is
I give you 5.
That is based on enjoyment. I understand. As soon as I saw the critic score, I was like, I get it. Sent around a 60 at Rotten Tomatoes. It was like, it's not like it's doing anything new. It's not like it's, there's a lot of character development or things like that. It really is. If you want to go on a 2-hour mission
extended episode.
Yes. It kind of like back in the day when they had the X-Files movie. That's what this is like. It's an extended long episode of The Mandalorian. But if you enjoy it, then I think you'll have a fun time with it. So 4 out of 5 for the two of us for Mando, for The Mandalorian and Grogu. What do you guys think? Are you guys going to go see this movie this weekend? Are you Disneyed out? Share your thoughts below. And if you have not yet, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Also give this video a thumbs up. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, remember to be a force of light. All right. Bye, guys.